quite durable flies. What do I mean by that? I mean basically a fly that will catch a lot of fish before it self-destructs. Quite a lot of dressings have remained unchanged, which is good in a sense, and people are using the same materials that have always used, whereas sometimes a little bit of a substitute and you can make a fly that will last an awful lot longer. I'll give you one or two examples as I make this basic spider pattern here. So I've just secured the tying thread and placing a black hen hackle on the top of the hook. Most of my hackle flies, I tie the hackle in at the beginning, because I don't really see the need to go back and forth and then tie something in when you can do it in one go. Now, this is what I mean about durability here. I'm going to put in the tail of this fly, and normally for something like butchers and so on, they'd recommend this little goose feather, which is nice enough in its own right, but it's quite fragile. It'll break away after a few fish, especially if you get sort of a rainbow trout or something, as they often do, tugging repeatedly at the tail of the fly. So instead of using for the tail that goose in red, I'm going to use topping feather from the crest of a golden pheasant. This one here I've dyed bright red myself, and I'm going to stick 2 of these feathers on at the tail end. By the way, if you want some info on dyeing feathers, I have a YouTube video on dyeing feathers using Vineyards dyes, which are by far the best dyes for feathers, go way stronger than clothing dyes, and their range of colours is true to original patterns. Next thing I'm going to secure is the ribbon material, which in this case is fine oval silver tinsel. If I was tying on a thicker oval tinsel, I would make an effort to tie it exactly on the underside of the fly, but this is fine enough. It can go where it pleases. Now, this is one of these modern plastic tinsels that's gold on one side and silver on the other, which is quite handy. It gives you the option of tying a silver or gold bodied fly. So after the first turn, place a fair amount of pressure on your tinsel as you're wrapping round. Secure with 3 turns thread. Trim that off. Evenly space your silver tinsel. Now then, I'm going to put a UV varnish over the top of this fly's body. This is Bug Off. I get that from eBay, and it's very reasonably priced and quite good quality as well. Now, if it was a sunny day, I wouldn't be applying it like this, because It's a cloudy day today, very miserable and overcast, so it's okay to apply this UV varnish. I'm just using a little bit of that to distribute it around the body. I'm using a UV laser. I picked this one up from one of these Chinese websites. It was, I think when I got it, it was less than £5. Actually sent all the way from China. I don't know how the devil they managed to do that and stay in business, but there you are. Right, so this gives you a body that will stand up to repeated attacks by the trout. So now I'm doing three turns of hackle. And I pulled back all the hackle fibres. Now, some of you will be thinking, well, why didn't I do a double hackle, which always looks a lot neater, but I particularly wanted to get all the turns of my tyne silk over the hackles to form this head. I'm just struggling with my whip finish tool, which decided to get itself tangled up in some threads that were lying loose. Anyway, I'll put 2 whip snap the thread, and that's it. That's a simple spider pattern which will catch an awful lot of fish in the highlands and in the rivers and so on. But the comforting thing is, you know that maybe 50 or 60 fish later you still have a fly in one piece. So I hope you enjoyed that. If so, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.